Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we have an article titled 20 Bold Predictions for the 2018-2019 NBA season. This is an article by Alex Frank. So basically what I'm going to do is go through these bold predictions. I'm going to tell you guys if I think it's bold or if I think it's even realistic or if I think it's not going to happen, all that good stuff out there. So yeah, if you guys can do me a quick favor, please drop a like on this video. Also, keep in mind, guys, I'm doing a huge giveaway on my second channel, Extra Crispy. When that channel hits 50k subscribers, I am uploading new NBA content every single day over there, guys. So link in the description below, Extra Crispy. Go check it out. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this. So the first bold statement we have is Markelle Fultz becomes an all-star. Oh, hell no, baby. I'm going to say, okay, I think Markelle Fultz is going to have a very good NBA season. But to say he's going to be an all-star after not even really been playing his rookie season, yes, he played a few games here and there, had like a triple-double, that was nice. But no, man, no way you go from just that to being an all-star right away. You look at some of the guys like, you know, Jason Tatum, who had a fantastic rookie season. He did not even make the all-star team, so no, man, I think Markelle Fultz is going to prove to be a very good player this next season. But as far as an all-star, that's a few seasons down the road, man. So, yeah, that's extremely bold. That's too bold. Okay, we have 5 teams in the East will win 50 games out there. Okay, so the teams listed, or at least some teams on here, we got Celtics, 76ers, Raptors. I agree with the 3 of those. I gotta toss in, I know there's teams out there I'm not thinking of. I think the Indiana Pacers could be one of those teams. And there's probably a 5th team out there, maybe the Bucks, that I can see doing that. This guy's saying the Wizards, but no, man, those are the 5 teams I gave you guys right there. All right, yeah, 50 wins. That's all I got feeling it's going to be. I got a feeling it's going to be like 5 really good teams, and then the rest are just going to be like fighting for the last 3 playoff spots up and down the board. Next, we have the Rockets take a big step back. Are we talking like a James Harden step back, man? Because that shit looking like a travel. No, man. As far as the Rockets taking a step back, it says, okay, so they had 65 wins last season. Okay, I can see them not quite winning 65 games just because that's very hard to repeat doing. But I do expect this team to get back to the Western Conference Finals, and I still think they're in a very good position to really make some noise out there, especially if they end up getting Jimmy Butler, which probably will not happen. But I mean, like, they got Melo out there, who in his first preseason game looked pretty decent out there. Yeah, man, the bench took a hit with you losing like Trevor Ariza and Luke out there and players like that. But no, man, you still got the reigning MVP, James Harden. Chris Paul, despite being like 33, yeah, okay, he's getting older, but his style of play isn't exactly like hugely athletic based. He'll still be one of the best point guards in the NBA. If anything, I can see them losing a few games maybe because of resting guys like Chris Paul and you know, giving his other guys out there. So yeah, okay, a step back, maybe in the regular season, in the playoffs, though we'll see what they can do. Next up, we have 5 coaches fired mid-season. Okay, so that would be kind of, that would be bold, man, to fire 5 coaches. You typically don't see that type of turnaround, especially during an NBA season. I mean, if it was the offseason, sure, I would agree with this. I can see a few coaches being let go here. We got guys like Doc Rivers, Fred Hoiberg, says being cut from their team as far as this article goes. But I mean, like, I don't see why the Clippers would fire Doc Rivers unless they, like, agreed on it. In that case, not really getting fired is more of a mutual thing out there, right? They also got Tyronn Lue getting fired. Okay, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's really the coach for the job out there in Cleveland. We'll see about that. I can see them giving him some more time. And then Billy Donovan, I'm expecting the Thunder to have a really good season, so I don't see that happening either. Unless they get off to a bad start, then sure, why not? Next up, we have Jason Tatum becomes the man. So we are talking about, like, the man in Boston. Like, despite having Kyrie Irving, despite having an all-star in Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum being the man. So I'll be the first to say he's a very good player, okay? Like, we all know that. I know as far as, like, 2K, like NBA 2K19, they gave this dude, like, 87 overall, which I thought was kind of an overrated rating for him. So a lot of people are kind of jumping on that and saying, yeah, he's going to be the man next season. He will be the man, but I don't think he will be the man. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, he'll be a big part of the team, but I still think when you think of the Boston Celtics, you will be thinking of Kyrie Irving as the man of the team. Next up, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers only win 25 games. Now, this I could actually see. Especially if Kevin Love goes down with an injury. I don't know why, man. Just like every season, Kevin Love seems to go down with something. So I can see that happening. I do expect them to have a really good statistical year. But outside of him, you got J.R. Smith, you got Tristan Thompson. We'll see what Collin Sexton does. I mean, the thing about Collin Sexton is that it is a very low-pressure situation. Because, like, nobody really expects this Cavaliers team to do anything. So that being said, Collin might just go out there and I don't know, man, just play some really good basketball. But 25 wins, that is pretty damn low. So I could see it being a little bit better than that, but not by much. We have the Detroit Pistons acquire Kemba Walker. So as a Detroit Pistons fan, this would be like, okay. I don't know if that quite gets the Pistons over the top. I mean, Kemba Walker is fantastic. He was an all-star last season. It's just a matter of like, what would the Pistons have to give up to make this happen? And the thing is that they would probably give up like 2 first-round draft picks, which in like if it was over like the course of like the next 2, 3, or 4 seasons, would not be that big a deal, because with like Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, the Pistons are always going to be like good enough where they are probably like not always going to make the playoffs, but when they don't make the playoffs, they are just going to miss it, which means you're not going to get like a top 3 draft pick. So that would be okay. Giving up those type of low tier lottery picks if it meant getting all-star in Kemba Walker. He's like 28, 29. I think the Pistons actually had a chance to draft him back in the day. They passed on him, but it might have been for Andre Drummond. That might have been the same draft. I don't quite remember. It was either that or KCP or somebody like that. But yeah, I think the Pistons would probably be a top 7 team in the Eastern Conference if they were able to acquire Kemba Walker. I would be all for that. Okay, next we have the Denver Nuggets win 50-plus games. I can't remember what the record was last season. Okay, it literally says right there, 46-36. They were 1 game away from making the playoffs. There was a sudden death versus the Timberwolves. Also, I believe Paul Millsap did miss much of last NBA season. They got Michael Porter on the team now, so we'll see what he does out there. Maybe he'll help them. And I will say plus 4 wins is definitely not like out of the realm of possibility. Plus, not to mention they also got Isaiah Thomas, and we all know what type of scorer he can possibly be. So, yeah, 50 wins, I can see them definitely doing that. Jokic is going to have probably his best season. He's fantastic, so sure, why not? Demarcus Cousins flops with the Warriors. Now, define flop, because if people expected Demarcus Cousins, who 1 is getting paid only $5 million, 2 is coming off a major injury, and 3 is part of a team with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green, if they expected him to come into this team and be like a 25-point-per-game scorer, that's not going to happen. He's going to have a career low in many statistical categories just because he's not going to be asked to do a lot. So, for him to be a flop for $5 million, he would have to be worse than Zaza and JaVale McGee, which is pretty much was their starting centers the past few NBA seasons. So, it's all about perspective, like what you expect with DeMarcus Cousins. Next up, we have Dwane Casey is Coach of the Year again. So this is pretty much saying that with Griffin, Drummond, and if they get Kemba Walker, the Pistons will win at least 45 games and take the final playoff spot. So with that being said, like, yeah, if they were able to get the 8th playoff spot, that does not warrant Coach of the Year. I mean, this team does have an all-star front court. They just have trouble making the playoffs. And to get Coach of the Year, that's typically to the team that has the best record or top 2 record, something along those lines. So no, that simply would not be enough. He would need to take this team to be like a top 2 or 3 seed in the Eastern Conference to have a chance at winning another Coach of the Year. Hopefully not get fired after that, like he was with the Toronto Raptors. Number 10, we have the Dallas Mavericks make the playoffs. You know what? I could actually see this happening, but a lot of things would need to go right. For one, Dennis Smith would need to take that next step. I mean, he had a good rookie season, but he would need to get even better, man. Like that big-time Donovan Mitchell type of step out there. Luka Doncic would not need to be a flop in his rookie season. A lot of people expect Luka to actually win Rookie of the Year. So, yes, if he plays like that, sure, why not? DeAndre Jordan is a seasoned veteran. He knows what he's doing out there. Harrison Barnes can give you 18 points per game. Bench unit is actually pretty solid. So, yeah, I don't see why this team couldn't make the playoffs. Is it a bold statement? Yes, because there's so many other great teams in the Western Conference. But if they were to, sneak into the playoffs and get that 8th spot, I wouldn't totally be surprised by it. Number 9, Kawhi Leonard will re-sign with Toronto mid-season. I would have. If that whole entire San Antonio Spurs thing never happened and he was simply just traded to the Raptors for whatever reason, I would agree with that. But the fact that Kawhi Leonard was not able to choose where he wanted to go makes me think that he is definitely going to test free agency, just because, like, Toronto was not his choice. And I know he doesn't want to be, like, held down by a long-term contract to a team that he did not even choose to go to. So at this point, it doesn't seem within Kawhi Leonard's personality to re-sign with the team that he was traded to. If it were to happen, I would be very, very, very surprised. Next up, we have the Timberwolves trade Jimmy Butler to the Lakers. Okay, so for this trade to happen, the Lakers would need to give up probably Kyle Kuzma, probably somebody else, that Svi guy, whatever his name is. And, because you would expect Jimmy Butler to get traded before the NBA season, ideally. And it's like, do the Lakers, do they want to give up somebody like Kuzma or maybe even a Brandon Ingram? Like, I don't see them doing that. But, some guy with some sort of trade value in exchange for Jimmy Butler to get him 1 year earlier. Like, it just doesn't make much sense where they can simply just wait one season and then test him in free agency if he wants to come to the team. So, I don't see that. That's the issue with Jimmy Butler right now via trade, is that teams are not willing to give up young assets to get a guy which could potentially only be a 1 year rental, or if they really want him on the team, they agree that he wants to go to that team, then they could just wait one season and it would be fine. Number 7, we have DeAndre Ayton wins Rookie of the Year. Okay, this is not really a bold statement. It says right there, Luka is obviously the guy that's the trendy pick, but DeAndre, let's not forget, guys, was the number 1 overall pick. He was the guy that dominated in college, first preseason game. I know I'm going back to preseason, but at this point, it is October 3rd, so it's like that's all I have to really measure success also of is what I've seen in the preseason. This dude absolutely just dominated the stat line. So that's not a bold statement. That's just a statement. All right, next up we have the San Antonio Spurs missed the playoffs. Dude, why does it seem like every single year this team is getting written off, man? Like every single year, it's like, oh man, the San Antonio Spurs, their window is closed. Let's get this straight, okay? Last season, they got the 7th spot. And the 7th spot was not even a bad spot to be in, because like the 3rd spot was like 4 games higher than that. They got there with LaMarcus Aldridge in a supporting cast. No Kawhi Leonard, he didn't play. This year, they have LaMarcus Aldridge, who was an all-star last season, I believe, and DeMar DeRozan, one of the best shooting guards in the NBA. Oh, let's not forget to mention Greg Popovich. There is no way in hell this team misses the playoff, guys. I'm going to put a bolder statement on this. I'm going to say the Spurs are going to be a top 3 or 4 team in the Western Conference. That's what I'm going to say. Let's move on. Okay, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo wins MVP award. The stage is set, because at this point, LeBron James, oh shoot, man, we skipped. At this point, no matter how great LeBron James is, people kind of take it for granted. So it's like, okay, LeBron's that good, so he's not going to get another MVP. And the stage is set in the sense that the Bucks, they were very bad last season. Like, they could have been so much better. They have the right coach in the system now. They are in the Eastern Conference, a LeBron James-less Eastern Conference. Giannis already put up good stats last season. It's just not really always translate into wins. So yes, if he can get this team to be like a top 3 or 4 seed, puts up a Giannis type of stat line, even better, then yeah, I can see this man get an MVP, and I think it will be well warranted. Number 4, the Lakers reach the Western Conference Finals. Okay, so Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, KCP. I mean, that doesn't exactly... Wait. Y'all got LeBron James. Y'all got the man that's literally made to like 6-7 straight NBA Finals. I can't remember the last time missed a conference finals. Okay, I don't care. Like, we saw what he did with that Cleveland Cavaliers roster last season, guys. And yes, people are sleeping on this Lakers team because of the young bloods out there. But even that young team is better than what LeBron James had last season, minus having Kevin Love, because Kevin Love obviously is an all-star. So they're able to maybe get that last piece, or maybe Ingram steps up and becomes like a Kevin Love-esque scorer. Then okay, yeah, it's a written done deal if he makes it to the conference finals. Number 3, we have the 76ers win the Eastern Conference. Well, I do have it coming down to the Boston Celtics, the 76ers, and perhaps the Toronto Raptors if Kawhi Leonard returns to MVP form. I even have a sleeper team like Indiana Pacers. I really feel like it being slept on, or the Bucks. There's quite a few teams that could actually win it. But oh man, the 76ers, especially if Markelle Fultz comes back and plays like a number 1 overall pick, combined with Ben Simmons having a year under his belt and Joel Embiid being as great as ever, JJ Redick, Dario Saric. I wouldn't be surprised if that team won the East. They definitely need to prove themselves a bit more in the playoffs for that to happen. Like a lot, they need to go out there and mature up, and either Joel or Ben Simmons need to be that takeover guy in the 4th quarter. But yeah, man, I can see that totally happening. Okay, next up we have number 2. Warriors need 7 games to win the championship. So let's say the Boston Celtics are the best team in the Eastern Conference. Would you say in a Warriors Celtics series, do you think it would take 7 games for the Warriors to beat the Boston Celtics? Do you think the Celtics can win in that series? Or do you think the Warriors just get it done in like 4 games? I would say like assuming the Warriors won, I think they would be able to beat the team in 6 games. If it went to 7, sure, why not? I feel like the Boston Celtics have the type of talent out there. or even Kawhi Leonard on the Raptors. In that case, I can see it going 7 games just because we don't know how great he is against the Warriors. 76ers, I think the maturity level and just kind of the lack of experience would kind of hurt them right there. So I don't know if that would be a 7-game series, but yeah, man. And finally, this is Kevin Durant's last season with the Warriors. So he's actually gone on the record to say that he is going to be honest about free agency. And he's going to be, just very transparent about it, which I've heard at times him actually say, like, you know what, I want to retire as a member with the Warriors. And there's other times saying that, he's going to join LeBron James on the Lakers or do something like that. I will say the ultimate scenario for Kevin Durant would be the Seattle Supersonics come back to Seattle. Kevin Durant joins that team and leads them to an NBA championship. It will never happen, but who knows, man. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Be sure to check out my second channel, Extra Crispy, and peace out, my friends.